Ever wanted to play Knockin' on Heaven's Door but thought it was too hard? Well, guess what? Today I'll show you how to play this classic in just 5 minutes, no experience required. I'll break it down into simple steps so you can start strumming along today. By the end of this lesson, you'll know exactly how to play the chords, the rhythm, and even a little trick to make it sound like the pros. Stick around because there's a quick tip at the end that'll take your playing to the next level, so don't miss it. Real quick, if you don't already know who I am, my name's Wade Collins and I run Guitar Fastlane, a worldwide online guitar school. I've been playing, performing, teaching, and writing songs for over 20 years. I've played on many stages, in bands, and solo, and even recorded and mixed albums. But enough about me, let's get to the lesson. All right, so in this song, there are 4 main chords that you have to know. So there's a G major chord, D major, A minor, and C. So the first chord, G major, you can play it a couple different ways, but the way I like to play it is to use my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the low E string, first finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, play the open D and G strings, and then the 3rd fret of the B string, and the 3rd fret of the high E string. I like to play it that way. Some people play it without their ring finger, like this, but I prefer the sound of my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. So that's the G major chord. Next chord is D major. So when I change to this D major chord, I like to try and keep my fingers close to the fretboard. So keep those fingers close and then move them down like this. And I play this chord with my middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G string and my first finger on the 2nd fret of the high E string. And I don't move this 3rd finger at all. So it stays there when I change these chords. So I just kind of pivot like this, lift my pinky off, and move my 1st and 2nd fingers down here. That's my D major chord. Then, the next chord I'm going to move to would be an A minor chord. So pick these fingers up, move them together, hover them above the frets that I need. So for this one, it would be the open A string, the 2nd fret of the D string, 2nd fret of the G string, with my ring finger, and 1st fret of the B string, my 1st finger. So that's the A minor chord right there. So in this song, there's a section where you change from the D major chord to the A minor chord. And then there's a section where you go from the D major chord to the C major chord. So D major to A minor, and D major to C major. When you're changing between these chords, remember to keep your fingers as close as possible to the strings. You want to do small movements and get your fingers where they need to go, and then press them all down at the exact same time. Hey, real quick, if you're enjoying this lesson so far, I think you'd also really enjoy my 3 ways to instantly play fast and clear chord changes. Check below this lesson, you can get it completely free. So when we're playing this song, we're going to play the G major chord for 1 bar, D major chord for 1 bar, and then A minor chord for 2 bars. And then we'll go G major for 1 bar, D major for 1 bar, and C major for 2 bars. Okay, so now that you got the chords, we have to think about the strumming pattern. So the strumming pattern I like to use for this song, keeps it nice and simple and goes along nicely with the drum beat, is a down, 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 up strumming pattern. So to practice this and figure it out, I recommend muting the strings. So just lay your fretting hand fingers across the strings gently. Don't press them down. Just lay them across like this so that you get a nice muted sound like that. And the strumming pattern will go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So a good way to start practicing this is with a metronome. So I'm going to play one right now. It'll be at 50 beats per minute. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now if we play that at a faster speed of about 120 beats per minute, this is what it'll look and sound like. And while you're strumming this, try to keep a steady motion with your strumming elbow. Here's how it looks. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, there you go. So that's the chords, and now that's the strumming pattern. So now what we want to do is start at a nice slow speed, mix the strumming pattern and the chords together. So again, remember we're going to play the G major chord for 1 bar, D major, 1 bar, and then A minor for 2 bars, and then G major 1 bar, D major 1 bar, and then C major 2 bars. Here's how it goes at a slow speed. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and A minor and 2 and 3 and 4 and A minor and 2 and 3 and 4 G and 2 and 3 and 4 and D and 2 and 3 and 4 and C and 2 and 3 and 4 and C and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 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 and 2 and 3 and 4. So there you go, Knockin' on Heaven's Door, great song by Bob Dylan, and also love the version by Guns N' Roses. It's fairly simple to play, only takes these 4 chords, and once you get that rhythm down, it makes it nice and easy. So again, focus on learning those chords, get comfortable changing between them, then focus on just the strumming pattern, and then try bringing both of those together. Start at a slow speed, maybe try 50, 60 beats per minute, and then gradually work your way up to about 100 beats per minute. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one. You've made it this far, so I know you're serious about improving your guitar skills. Why not keep the momentum going? Hit subscribe to make sure you don't miss our future lessons, and then click on your next lesson right here. I think you'll love it. I'll see you over there.